Welcome back to episode 29.
MLB, about over. Regular season's winding down to a close.
Into the last week.
Yep.
Poor Padres.
Yep. All right. We might as well start there.
Yeah, we'll look back on that had to have been around
That was probably February.
episode 15-ish.
Probably.
I'd say 10 to 15-ish. Around
when
there.
Brady and Clayton made a bet on who was going to win the World Series. And Clayton was very hardcore for the Padres, and Brady was very hardcore for the Dodgers. Clayton, do you have anything to say about that?
I would like to point out. All right, I messed up. We'll start there.
All right, okay.
Fair enough.
Hey, acceptance is the first step.
We'll start there. I admit, I screwed up. But my new hot take, they end up just like the Lakers, guys. The first season LeBron went over there, they fired their coach, brought in another star, a.k.a. Trevor Story.
Trevor Story's going to be a Cardinal, so you can stay on the theory.
Brought in a second star. I just threw Trevor Story out there.
Whoever Trevor Story on the Padres is a nuke taker there, folks.
Another star. They'll bring in a new manager. They'll win the World Series next year with their new duo. They'll be fine. It's going to be the exact same thing that happened to the Lakers.
It's possible. But it's not like teams like the Dodgers and the Giants are getting any weaker.
Right. There's no fall off in that division whatsoever from those two teams.
Well, Scherzer's gone, maybe.
I don't know about that.
Even then, they'll find some way to add talent.
That
They
is
always
true.
do. Brady, do you actually think they'll still win the World Series? Do you actually believe it?
I mean, I think they have a chance. Kershaw just went on an injured list, though.
Right,
So
the greatest
help him.
pitcher of all time. You know,
He chokes in the playoffs. Who cares?
he's got one more ring than all of
I
us.
was going to say,
He's got
he didn't choke last year. But.
He got lucky last year. He doesn't get lucky
Boy, it
twice.
takes a lot to get lucky to win the World Series.
Can you guys, going off of that, just to throw it out there, can you guys name a team that lucked into a championship? If you really think about it.
The Indians lucked out of one. Does that count?
Shut up, Matt. Shut up.
So, I mean, I guess, who even beat them in that series with the rain delay?
The Cubs.
It was the Cubs.
Yeah.
Yes, the Cubs lucked into a championship.
Yeah. All right.
Yes,
yeah, that's
there's
fair.
one. You'd think I'd remember that. It scarred me for life.
I think it's
I had
all
never
four of
been.
us.
I have never been so happy to cheer for the Indians. Not the Tigers fan over here. He was okay.
Let's do kind of like a team recap by person. Brady, we'll start with you.
I mean, the Cleveland Guardians, as they will now be known after today, actually, they're hopefully they'll win today, finish 80-82, because they got whooped by the Rangers. Yes.
Yeah, they did.
It was, when the Rangers first batted the game, crushes one over 400 feet. That was pretty much the end of that.
That tends to set a negative tone.
However, I did learn today that they had front office members taking tours of the new Rangers home dugout or home clubhouse for new renovations. However, those clubhouses got about $1.2 billion in spending money. Cleveland will not have that sort of spending money.
No.
Giant statues aren't bringing in that much revenue.
No.
People aren't paying to go see the Guardians of Cleveland.
No.
That's crazy, man.
They definitely should.
Any other thoughts on the season?
Why would anybody pay to go see those?
Hey, man. I mean, if Tristan McKenzie can find his July through end of August form, that'd be nice. And if, as Matt affectionately calls him, Cy Quantrill can stick around next year, that'd be nice.
Second half of the season, goat, dude.
I mean,
was.
Savali's been on and off since he came back from the injury
You mean
list.
Cy Volley?
I knew you were gonna say that. I think if Plesac can helmet in, Bieber comes back. Bieber's looked good. If he can stay healthy, really if our entire pitching staff stays healthy, then we'll be okay.
See, the weird thing about you guys' division is a lot of teams are rebuilding at the same time.
Right.
And next year's going to be really telltale of who pulls out in front. Because, obviously, the Indians are in a rebuild. The Tigers are in a rebuild. I don't even know if the Twins count anymore. I'm just gonna disregard that. But like, though I feel like those two are gonna be a really big race. Obviously, Isaac, you can attest to this more when we get around to you for your team. But
No. No.
Did something happen while I was gone with the Tigers?
no,
or
I
are
just
you
like really like making fun of Isaac for being a Detroit fan.
Well, Detroit's almost a 500 team. I think they're 2 games behind us.
The Indians are almost a 500 team too. It's crazy. That's why we're talking about them being in line with each
Yeah,
other.
I know.
I just had to throw in a jab at Isaac because it's fun.
I know.
Continue.
No, that's about it. I'm just saying, like, next year it'll be interesting to see the two of them stack up, and those will be fun series to watch.
I was gonna say,
It'd be cool if we could get out to a couple games with them.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Going off of Matt's point, I mean, like you mentioned, we don't really know what's going on with the Twins. I mean, and the Royals look competitive there for the first couple months. The Tigers are on the upswing of their rebuild.
Right.
The Indians are, I'd like to say, more of a retool.
We're
than a rebuild.
floating. We're not deep in a rebuild. We're not competing. We're just kind of floating right now is how I kind of look at it. But I'll elaborate on that more once the circle gets to me.
Matt?
Isaac,
Oh, okay.
moving to you.
I mean, he'd have won over his own team.
Well,
Oh, yeah, that's
his
true.
team's in the
Go back.
playoffs, so he can go last.
Yeah, that's true.
You can talk about the Indians, Isaac. Don't worry.
I was going to.
Oh, good. Okay.
The Guardians, as we all know them now.
My bad, guys. That's my bad. I called them the Indians. Who do I think? of?
The Guardians are, I feel like, they're not in the rebuild. I would say they're in a kind of like dead center of it. Almost bad, but almost good.
So a retool.
Yeah,
Like I said, yes.
yeah. Just different wording.
No.
No, he used different wording.
I get that's true.
He just dumbed it down a lot.
I was saying, if we go beating around the bush, different wording, that's fine.
Beating around the bush is different wording.
I feel like our pitching's going to be good.
Right.
They'll get back on track before next year. We have good pitching coaches.
We don't have as good hitting coaches, though.
Right.
True.
Correct.
We've wanted like so many fans have wanted them to fire the same hitting coach since like 2015.
They need to.
He's still there. Wow.
They need to find a new hitting coach. Maybe bring in some, I don't know, decent infielders. I mean, we have J. Ram,
Decent infielders.
Bobby Bradley.
But we have a lot of infield prospects that are
That
middle
is-
infielders, and also they will be talked about instituting a salary floor next year.
Ooh.
That would benefit us. Holy
$100
crap.
million is supposed to be the proposed salary floor for everybody.
Please institute that. Please.
I've heard
that would definitely prompt some money spending.
I've heard a far-fetched
Is it from your
rumor.
radio station?
No.
Shut up, Bleacher Report.
Yeah, that's true. You don't really have any footing in that argument.
I know, I don't. I just like asking him.
Continue.
I've heard a far rumor that the Indians are interested in Trey Turner.
That doesn't mean anything.
We
He's
would
not
have to
going
give
anywhere.
up way too
I was gonna
much,
say,
and they wouldn't.
the
be
Dodgers-
You have to
No,
give
it
up
would be
J.
in
Ram to
fr-
get Trey Turner. Sorry.
It would be in free
It's not.
agent.
Well, he still
He's not going
I was,
anywhere.
he still has another year left.
Yeah, it would be after.
Why would anybody leave LA?
I don't.
Especially where the Dodgers are right now.
There, I don't think we signed Trey Turner when he comes free agent, solely because that's also the same year Jose Ramirez becomes a free agent.
Yeah, I'd rather throw money at J. Ram. Cleveland stalwart.
Yeah, but we don't believe in throwing money at Cleveland stalwarts, Clayton.
Yeah, that's true.
Francisco's on the mess.
stalwart.
Well,
He
I was
did.
thinking about this earlier this week, and that's how it popped in. I saw a thing that said, forget what his name was, but the year that the Raptors won the NBA title, they were talking about, wow, this guy really is the GOAT of all sports. He traded away a franchise, they used the term stalwart in DeMar DeRozan,
I think I saw
for an injured star in Kawhi Leonard, fired the coach of the year, rolled the dice on a rookie NBA head coach, and won a title.
Yeah?
Yeah, there. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah.
No lies detected. Like, well, I guess that moves it to me, right?
It does.
I'm kind of in the same boat with you guys. We just need to retool. I still stand by my statement that we should have sold hard at the deadline. You disagreed with me. I think that we should have. Just, I see no reason to not to, I guess.
I see both sides of it.
I mean, honestly, like, I see both sides. I mean, looking back, I really like the way our deadline moves have paid out, especially Miles Straw.
Oh, Miles Straw has been great.
He'll
I
be
wasn't
our-
sure if he would actually turn out to be decent, but he has.
He's our future center fielder.
For sure.
I think he's hit better in Cleveland than he.
What are you laughing at?
has
Your
in
voice
Houston.
cracked.
What an episode.
I definitely think he's hit better in Cleveland than he did in Houston. And having a 1-2 punch of Straw and Ahmed Rosario, who, started the year as our center fielder, and we sent down Andres Jimenez, and he shifted back into shortstop, and I'm pretty sure he leads the league in 4-hit games. I think he had 6 of them this year.
He's definitely going to develop into that stud we need.
He
hope so.
only has a year or two left on contract, though, which is
I wouldn't hate throwing money at Miles Straw, though.
no.
Are we going to?
No, not Miles Straw. Ahmed Rosario.
Oh,
I think
okay,
Miles
that makes
Straw
more
still has like
sense.
4 more years left.
Yeah.
I don't think you'll have to throw money at Miles Straw.
Not yet.
I don't think anybody's gonna put that much value on him.
And
Not with his current
I
stat.
was gonna say he's a really good
But-
base stealer once he gets on base.
Well, but that's the only thing he did for the first few years of his career. They were like, "Oh, shoot, we need a guy to run the bases." Straw, get out there.
Well, his problem in Houston was he was a platoon player for the longest time, and he was a bottom of the order guy. Come to Cleveland, shoved him to the leadoff spot. Now look.
Well, that
Matt-
about covers the Indians, so
Yeah.
transition to the Cardinals, I guess, Matt.
playoff berth?
Man, we had no right to make the playoffs. First of all, you all know, everyone knows, because I said it multiple times throughout this podcast, that I've been telling the Cardinals to rebuild for a while. So first of all, as Clayton said, made a mistake. I'll admit to that. I thought we should have retooled. Not even retooled, rebuild it, because they keep trying to retool, and we just keep being like average, and like middle of the pack. But the Cardinals have looked good. I mean, Tyler O'Neill's really stepped up. Harrison Bader obviously stepped up. Arenado and Goldschmidt decided they were MVPs to end the season. They were solid. Our deadline moves confused me beyond anything we had. We added 2 old pitchers that were not having good seasons, and I was like, wow, that's going to help us make a playoff push. It really didn't help that all that much if you look at the games.
They did win 17 straight, so they had to pitch at least 3 times in there.
That doesn't mean they helped us. That means our offense came through in the end.
Mainly Tyler O'Neill, the GOAT Lars Newport.
Not really.
Bro, Lars is the GOAT in the clutch. You can't even change my mind.
Lars is my guy. But, yeah. No, because Arenado and Goldschmidt were MVPs to end the season. Obviously, Waino's still playing well. I'm glad that him and Yachty are both coming back next year. Well, I've said this before, too. Next year's going to be so weird, because it's going to be, like, partially us pushing for a World Series, because we've played so well this year, and we still have everybody locked up for next year, but it's also, like, a farewell tour for our older guys.
Right.
And the weird thing is, we have connections to, like, Trevor Story, which would lock up our infield, which would be great. But then there was also talks of us getting Max Scherzer, but now it looks like there's no shot of that happening. That was before he moved to LA.
Right.
So, I don't know. Next year will be interesting for sure. I don't see how we get past such a stacked Dodgers team,
Right.
but anything can happen. I assume it'll be Scherzer versus Wainwright, which will be an awesome game to watch, and I hope I get the opportunity to watch.
I think that's what they announced was that's going to be Scherzer versus Wainwright. I know at least Wainwright was announced. I do know that.
Well, Wainwright's been our best pitcher. It would make sense for us to try to pitch him.
Right. You can't save arms in one game series.
Yeah, and we've set ourselves up. Obviously, that 17-game win streak franchise record allowed us to be able to set our schedule out for the rest of the year. Because I even said that a couple podcasts ago. It's like, we're not going to have the opportunity to save arms because we're going to be playing until the very end of the season. And that switched up real quick. But it was fun to watch them play. And a lot of them were down in those games. And they just had to dig it out at the end, which is really cool to see. But I don't know. We'll see. I'm not getting my hopes up. That's kind of where I'm at.
Nothing wrong with that.
Matt,
Yeah.
quick question for you. So, let's say if you get past the Dodgers, do you think you win the World Series? if you get past the Dodgers.
There's no way we are the best team in the NL.
I was gonna say
By no stretch of the imaginary, we're the best. We're obviously not better than the Brewers because they clapped us in the division. I think we actually had a solid record against the Brewers in the division, but I still think in a 7-game series, that's too good of a. Their pitching is too good for us to beat, especially the way Yelich has ended the season. He's turned it on a little bit more. But maybe I'm just being harsh because it's my own team, and that's usually how I prefer to look at it because I'm a realist. I don't want to overdo it. Be cocky. And we're definitely not better than the Giants. I mean,
no.
That's just...
The Giants have just been playing great baseball literally the entire season. Have they slowed down?
No.
Like...
Not really. But they can't, because the Dodgers are hotter than their heels to try to win the division.
And to test it out, I saw this stat. Yes, me and stats. The Dodgers have gone 49-22 since the All-Star break. They have not gained a single game on the Giants before today.
So here's a little tidbit for you guys to think of then. What if the MLB got rid of divisions? Because if those are the two best teams in baseball, why does one of them still get screwed, bless you, to be in a 1-game series? Like, they are so far above everyone else record-wise.
Right.
Why does one of them get screwed out? And then a team like the Brewers is getting a pass to the next round.
Right, they're getting a guaranteed 5.
Yeah, when they're, 10 games behind them? 15 games behind them?
If I'm the MLB, I would consider it after this year, after looking at those two teams.
I would make a lot of changes if I was in the MLB, but...
Just give us a few, Clayton.
Alright, eliminate that no grippy stuff on the baseball bullcrap.
Garrett Cole would love you as Commissioner Clayton.
Freaking eliminate all this stupid unwritten rules of baseball crap. How dare you show emotion and have fun? I've covered this a lot, but,
Yep.
Oh my gosh, you mean to tell me that he actually looked like he was having a great time when he drilled a baseball 400 feet? Whoa, not so fast.
This is America's pastime, not America's excitement.
Exactly.
Right?
Back in the 50s, they didn't do that. We ain't doing that now. You would fit right in the MLB bureaucracy, wouldn't you? Holy crap.
No, I wouldn't.
You also who would love Clayton as?
James Karinchak.
Bingo.
Gosh. Don't get me started.
You use stalwart and bureaucracy in a sports podcast.
Dude, I'm getting a college education. What can I say? But yeah, I mean, that kind of makes sense. Like, there's no sense in literally the second best team in baseball getting screwed into a 1-game series.
And plus...
Can't even call it a series, just a one game.
It's play-in.
Right, play-in.
Another rule that...
Isaac, you go.
Another rule that is getting changed is the DH.
Universal DH is not a bad idea.
They needed it way before now.
They're definitely going to push it this winter because, the CBA expires, and all the pitchers that have gotten hurt, like running bases and swinging the bat, especially during spring training, like the Diamondbacks' best pitcher was literally out for like a month and a half, 2 months, because he got hurt taking BP during spring training.
Well, half of Jacob deGrom's injuries this season were from hitting.
That's also an amazing point.
That's part of what convinced me, because I didn't like the Universal DH.
Oh, I didn't either. I was never a fan.
But seeing him get hurt, 3 different times this season?
He's been on and off pretty much the whole year.
I mean, that's just crappy. And Brady always made the point that it adds more jobs to the league and more spreading of money, so that's cool too. And it also extends the careers of guys like Albert Pujols and stuff like that.
Nelson Cruz!
Yeah. That shouldn't be playing defense anymore because they're just a liability.
Right.
But they still got the stick. So.
Right. They can still hit it, they just can't run anymore.
I was going to say, Nelson Cruz is called NC Boomstick for a reason.
The reason that I like the DH coming in, pitchers don't get hurt like DeGrom. Maybe the Mets make a good playoff push.
I don't know what world you live in.
I said maybe.
I mean, the Mets should be a playoff team. They don't have the chemistry to me.
Yeah, they're just not. Like, quite simply, they're just not. What other reason is there?
There isn't really.
Bringing the DH is good, but if a pitcher really wants to hit, throw him in the DH spot.
Yeah. if you really want to double up like that, like Shohei Ohtani, for example, let him hit.
Yeah.
Like,
Alright, so I guess that leaves us with awards, pretty much.
yeah.
I mean,
I'll start it off. Shohei wins MVP.
No.
that's all I was gonna
That's
say.
the
There's
obvious.
two MVPs.
That was pretty cut and dry.
Yeah.
Now,
Which one?
what do you guys think about the NL MVP though? Because, I mean, that's an open race.
No, it's not.
Who is it to you?
Bryce.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
I
what
agree
I
with
was
that.
gonna say. I was curious to see.
I think
if that's
that's obviously the Phillies aren't a great team, but
But that's not his fault.
They finished,
right.
They
I'm
It's,
about
finished,
to say,
it's not on
He's
him.
been
They
trying
finally
to
finished
help
over
them
500.
keep up.
the
Exactly.
first time I
They
don't
were
even
still-
know how long.
They were still in the playoff hunt until
Because-
the Cardinals went on a 17-game win streak.
Yeah.
Right.
And he had the team on his back. Like it
He
it
was
just
literally
him.
carrying the team.
I think that it should be, as much as it sucks for Vladdy just because he had an excellent season, but
Oh yeah.
Shohei and Bryce, I think, should be pretty straightforward for
It's
MVPs.
crazy the amount of players this year that everybody has said this person had an MVP season, but
Yeah,
But-
exactly.
like Vladimir Guerrero Jr. had an MVP season,
But
but then there's this guy named Shohei.
Shohei popped off.
Aaron Judge had a really good season.
Yeah.
Quieter because the Yankees have been so up and
I'm
down.
about to say,
they've been bouncing the
All of
entire
that.
year.
Jose's been playing like
J-Ram,
MVP.
yeah, J-Ram had an MVP type season.
He always finishes in the top 5, but you can't not give it to Shohei, right?
Exactly.
Shohei
From a marketing
gets it.
standpoint in the MLB, and this I think applies to most MVP awards. They're super political. Like, if you're the MLB, you can't not give it to Shohei.
I mean, not
Like,
even
that's
from a
what the
marketing
fans want.
standpoint.
I'm about to say-
he genuinely earned it. Like, even though he cooled off in the second half, he still earned it.
I'm about
Yeah.
to say Shohei had it locked up first half.
Salvador Perez was the other guy. I was
Salvador
thinking of.
Perez.
Salvi.
I was
Yep.
gonna
Set
say
a record for home runs by a catcher in a season. So,
Yeah.
he also has tied the Royals single season home run record.
Yep.
too.
Another guy that's just
He'll finish
Tough
top
luck.
3 probably, but
yeah.
Sorry.
There's
Sorry.
doesn't matter.
right. There's nothing we can do
Especially since his team is average at best.
at best.
I mean, Carlos Correa had an MVP type season for the Astros. He's leading them to the playoffs again.
There's rumor he's going to Detroit.
Well, he's gone. One more. I
I
don't
was
know where
gonna
he's
say.
going, but he's gone.
I've
Okay.
heard
He's already
Detroit.
said that.
The three or four main teams that have been tagged to Carlos Correa. I mean, obviously the Yankees because they need a shortstop.
And they have a lot of money. And
They're tied to everyone.
But the other three are the Tigers, Rangers, and Marlins.
the Marlins.
I say he goes to the Tigers.
I think he'll stay in Texas and go to the Rangers.
Nope, he goes to
I think
Detroit.
that'd be weird.
Yeah.
Like, if you're so insistent on getting out of Houston, why would you go to a worse Texas team?
Yeah.
But I mean,
When
a
he
piece
come,
like, especially if they're going to institute a salary floor,
when he
there's
came,
going to be money flying at Correa. I mean, why did Eric Hosmer and Manny Machado sign with the Padres?
Because
Before
they
they
figured they'd win.
yeah.
What?
And then they were yelling at each other in the dugout.
No, that was Tatis and Machado.
That was a sibling rivalry. They're okay.
But why wouldn't you go to a up and coming Detroit team? They've
And
they're around
they do need a
500.
shortstop. That's why I think Correa's going to go to one of the two.
Because Detroit's market is about the size of my pinky nail.
That is true.
I mean,
it?
I don't know.
Smaller than Cleveland's.
Yep. Yeah.
But I definitely think Texas's new field will be a drawing point to some guys. Because like just all their new stuff, it's a lot of the modern tech.
Is it indoor?
I sure hope so.
Bro, this ain't college. I don't think that has as much of an effect as you would think.
Well-
I really think that he's just going to go to Detroit. A, money. B, like Isaac said, up-and-coming team in need of a shortstop. I think he wants to go and be the big dog over there on the winning team again.
I mean, yeah.
But are the Tigers really a winning team next year?
With him, that would boost them, and they're already in
It
the
would be
upward
close.
slope.
I mean, if their pitching staff's only going to get better.
Exactly.
That is
They-
true.
Sure.
The Tigers and the Royals both have a lot of young, pitching. I mean, the need are in the same spot, but that's because the need are a pitching lab. Like, what?
We're a pitching franchise.
I'm about to say, when people needs pitchers, they call the Indians.
That's how the Padres ended up with Mike Clevenger. Like,
Yeah.
but yeah, like I said, I think he'll end up in Detroit. That's my call.
Story in St. Louis, Correa in Detroit, Seager in Miami. Heard it here first.
Alright.
All right.
Well, we have one more award to talk about. The Cy Young.
I'll say maybe Cy Young Rookie of the Year. I mean,
That's true.
to me, I think Scherzer's gonna win it in the NL, and I'll give my vote to the AL for Robbie Ray. Robbie Ray's been gnarly.
He's been pretty good.
For sure.
He's a free agent too.
Ooh.
He picked a great time to turn on the gas.
Yes, he did.
He's about to see a lot of Benjamins this offseason.
Fun fact. So, during the COVID year, the Diamondbacks traded Robbie Ray to the Blue Jays at the deadline for a minor leaguer. Diamondbacks then proceeded to trade that minor leaguer back to the Blue Jays for, I think, like $500,000, something like that. That guy's a former Loco.
Really? Robbie Ray is a former Loco.
No, the minor leaguer he got traded for. Travis Bergen pitched for the Locos.
Travis Bergen. All right.
So
All right.
close.
I was
That
thinking,
was
wait a minute.
even cooler.
I was going to say, I feel like I would know that, but yeah, that's cool. It's just another cool little tidbit.
I
Then,
was gonna say, cause like when I was filling out the Locos Got Pro stuff, I was like, I recognize that guy.
alright. One more award. Rookie of the Year. Who gets it?
India.
How could it not be?
Down in Indiana. See, the AL to me, it's going to have to be either Rosarena or Adolis Garcia. But I think so many people forget that Emmanuel Clase is a rookie.
Oh, there's definitely a lot of guys that could get that award. Clase's up there, Rosarena, what did you say, Adolis Garcia. But then, like, I'm just talking guys in general. You said India, was it Patrick Wisdom?
From the Cubs, yeah.
He was up there. Oh man, there's a bunch of names.
Well,
I've blanked, but there's a lot of guys that could win Rookie of the Year this year. It's crazy.
Unfortunately, Lars Newbar won't win Rookie of the Year. But I don't even think he's lost his rookie eligibility
I
yet.
don't think
So we have next year.
I'm about to say Wanda.
When he competes with Wander Franco, yeah.
Yeah, 'cause-
Ooh, yeah, I guess that's
Yeah.
yeah, because Wander didn't come up till July.
yeah,
Yeah, Wander still has rookie eligibility.
Yeah.
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 Well, but
We
Different
all
leagues, though.
know.
We were talking about that
Lars
earlier.
has
Yeah.
a chance, different leagues.
That is true.
That's true. I didn't even
That's a good point.
He's not winning Rookie of the Year next
I was gonna say,
year.
well,
He's going to be lucky to play in our outfield next
I was
year.
gonna
He'll
say-
be same as this year. He'll play a little.
I think Wander. Well, and I think a lot of people going into this year were like, yeah, Randy Rosarena, straight up rookie of the year, day one. And I think a lot of people are going to be like that with Wander Franco. And I mean, they have a reason to be.
I was going to say, there's a reason for that,
Jeff-
too.
Jeff-
That dude got a
Passon
lot
tweeted
of hype and lived up to it.
really
Oh,
well.
I mean,
Hot take.
offensively and defensively. Oh, goodness.
Wander Franco is the infield Mike Trout.
I've never heard anyone be referred to as the infield Mike Trout, but that
What?
is something interesting. However, I did see a tweet from Jeff Passon today. Actually, I think it was technically from yesterday. He was like, Wander Franco can't even legally drink yet, but I firmly believe he is a top 25 player in baseball.
I mean,
He
there's-
very well
there's-
could
There's
be.
no reason that he isn't. Like,
Wander's been really, really good. And I'm very glad I picked him up in my fantasy baseball league, because, man, it worked!
I bet.
I bet.
all right. Well,
Well,
if nobody has anything else, this will conclude episode 29 of the Hot Take Sports Podcast. Make sure that you guys follow us on all social medias at Hot Take Sports 16. Thank you guys for tuning in.
go
And
buy merch.
yes,
Merch,
go
merch,
buy merch. HotTakeSports.online. Thank you guys for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.